No matter how cold it is in Mozambique, my good friends, as parents, it is important that we continue to provide. And this means from providing from school fees to something warm like me, making sure that we're getting cold. It is our priority and our responsibility. However, it is also a fact that we can't do this anymore with just one job. Like if you're doing this, not one job, if you're doing this with one income, then there's a problem. That's why it is always good. You see, when you see people when they get married, they've got more financial power than those that are single, basically because you got more income. But recent statistics have been showing that actually people who are single, particularly single parents, single women out there, they are buying more real estate than the men. But today, I don't discriminate whether you're a man or whether you're a woman or whether you're a couple. I bring you Wednesday Deal Day. Some of you are like, what is Wednesday Deal Day? Well, if you haven't been here for a minute, welcome. I want to share a case with you before I showcase to you the deal for today. It's an amazing deal. We've got about three of the similar projects, and I'll give you the difference, okay? But basically, we've got three good projects for student accommodation, which I do think that anyone out there would be able to catch, and you can run with it, or you can be able to say, hey, TJ, I'm keen on the deal, and my team can be able to help you out. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is TJ, your host, and I'm a former banker and founder here at the TJ Tribe. And I do business with a focus in student accommodation, flips, which is buy and sell, and coaching, with the hope that all of us, as young, upcoming modern parents, we can be able to have passive income from real estate. Welcome to the channel. Well, my good friends, before we go any further, there's a few people, should I say friends of the tribe, who've been working with me for a season. And these guys, we just kind of like trust each other. We put money together and we go and do some amazing deals. And I want to share with you guys a very cool story about a guy called Sims. I'm just gonna call him Sims. You all remember when I started being a fund manager, right? You remember back in the days in the year 2021, or should I say the year BC, the year before COVID, right? And within those times, basically, I became a fund manager. And some of you are like, TJ, you're a fund manager. Yes, my good friends. There's plenty of other things that you may not know about me until, we speak about them here. But I've been a fund manager for a season. And I started talking to Sims back then. We started, talking, doing some deals. Sims couldn't get through to my first fund that I managed. That one was called a Section 12J. You all remember what a Section 12J? Do you remember? Do you know what's a Section 12J? Okay. So at the moment, Section 12J is still around, but it focuses quite a lot on solar products. And the Section 12J was in real estate, was kind of like closed in the year 2022 in June or so. So I've been running that for a minute. So it's almost close to 5 years. And some of my good friends, we've got them on the Section 12J. But this is what I want to talk to you about. You may not be ready today to get some of these deals for yourself, or maybe you may want to work with me. The reality is that your circumstance, my good friends, I'm gonna be preaching today. Or TJ, you're a preacher too? No, I'm just a witness. But let's go back to the fund manager. So your circumstance can change from 0 to 100 in life. That's what happens today. That's what happens with life. Sometimes you've got a bit of moolah, sometimes you don't have. But I want to reinforce this. Whether you are in the season of money or whether you're not in the season of plenty, season of plenty, money, and season of less, don't run away from the fire. Stay close to the fire. What do I mean by that? Stay close to the TJ tribe, learning as you go along. And, on Mondays, we've got our Monday 10 minutes of learning, and we call it MTL. That's a video that comes out. We aim to do 10 minutes, and you learn. And then on Wednesday, like this one, we just showcase a deal. But it doesn't mean this is the only deal that's available. There's other deals that will be available, but we showcase the one deal. And then on Saturday, we get to go behind the scene and you get to learn a little bit more. Whether it is hot, cold, we are here. That's why I am dressed up like this today, because it is cold in Mzansi. Now, you may be asking yourself, so TJ, why are we talking about this? I started knowing Sims in 2021. And this is exactly almost 5 years later. And we've been journeying together on different things and so on. And eventually Sims, he came through not so long ago. He says, TJ, I'm in. I've got some moolah. What's the next deal? I need to be in on the next deal. Like I've been seeing in my head, I started seeing Sims saving 5 grand, 10 grand, bonus 30 grand, saving it. And then bingo, he got to X amount of money. And Sims, I want to say a big shout out to Sims, and there could be many Sims that are out there like him. But the friends of the TJ tribe, I think we are growing, we are doing amazing things. So respect to all of you guys. So we've got a mantra here, and this mantra, my good friends, all it says is my heart is open, my mind is open, help me to TJ to make some money. So we're gonna repeat that mantra so that anyway, wherever we are, we can say that mantra, and we can align the head and the mind and the heart and the mind so that we can be able to close the good deals by ourselves. Are you ready? Let us go. 1, 2, 3, let's go. My heart is open, my mind is open, help me TJ to make some money. But let's go on to talk about today's deal. It is Wednesday deal day, and it is in the peak of winter in Mzansi, and wherever you are, you might be caught. So let's start. The deal itself, it is a student accommodation. And as you know, this is the buying season for student accommodation. There's many opportunities that are there. Particularly today, I will speak to around about 3 opportunities for student accommodation. I'll focus on one, and then I'll tell you the difference on the other 2. And these are available for you, my good friends, if you're one of those people who are ready. What do I mean? You qualify for X amount of money. I'll tell you the amount, the debt amount that you need. And you got a bit of cash, and you are ready. You've spoken to your partner, wife, husband, and you can then be saying to us, I'm ready for the deal. When you're ready for the deal, what do? I always encourage you, my good friends, that long before a deal comes through, reach out to us on this link here that says www.thetjtribe.com/my-rental-deal. That way we verify you long before these deals come through, and we can send out these deals. Some of you have already received some of these deals that came through via WhatsApp today, so a high five to you if you've already started taking action. But let's go on today's deal. This particular property, it is selling, I'm just going to call it 2 million, right? I'm just going to call it 2 million. However, it is shy 2 million, the selling price, but it's kind of like 1,960,000, you know, right? So let's call it 2 million for the purposes of us of easy numbers. 2 million is what we have agreed with the seller, that this is what you can. If you are to go and get a bond 100%, right? If you get a bond 100%, bingo, you do not need any deposit, which then means that we are going to walk through the journey of this property with you on buying it with debt, right? So at the moment, no money is involved. You have borrowed 2 million rand. On this 2 million rand, you are going to need, my good friends, 130,000 for transfer. You will need this particular property is actually not a student accommodation. It's in the same streets. There's like many student accommodation. So you will need what is called a consent use for you to be able to run the student accommodation. Our town planner is ready to help you with that, and that costs you plus minus 50,000. And we will obviously need to look at that particular property and what you're wanting to do. And over and above that, we are estimating a renovation of 200,000 together with fire equipment and furniture, things like that one, an additional 250. Let's just call it 250. You will need furniture, and furniture you will need an additional 150,000. So all in all, you're shy 800,000. That's the cash that you're going to need. But I'm going to break it down in terms of when do you need this money? Because a lot of us, we get stuck on a deal like this one. And you're like, yo, 800. I don't have 800,000 now. Okay, let me break it down for you. Okay, right. We are in the month of July. You need this property ready by, let's say, October, November latest. Okay? So you don't need the 800,000 today. You will need the 800,000 by the end of October. You will need your bond and transfer fee within the next 30 to 45 days. So that takes away, you owning the property. And then the consent, the renovation, and the furniture. Let me just put together the consent and the renovation. Those two things. Let's put them together, which is an additional 250,000. You will need that. Let's just say we're going to call this month number 1. Eh? So month number 2 is when we did transfer and registration. So you're going to need that money in month number 3. Yep. Month number 3 from the time that we are buying. And then things like furniture, which is throwing up the je ne sais quoi on your property to make it look the way you want to do. And it will guide you on that one. You will need it in round about 30 to 40 days before the accreditation kicks in, which I'm saying 30 to 40 days before November. So around about October, you now need that money to be available. So you don't need the entire 800,000 right now. You can plan for it. You can speak to your bra. You can borrow from your sister. You be creative, my friends, if you do not have these monies around. But I always say, I think, do the planning long before these deals are coming through. Now, my good friends, this particular property is going to give you a whooping 18 students on this particular property. And the rental income that you can get there is 83,000 rand. Let's just call it 84,000. This, however, is in today's rental income. Now, if the rental goes up, which it does, maybe with a 5% or even a little bit more, that means that your rental income is going to increase. But let's not budget for that. Let's budget with what we know, and that's the 84,000 rand that you will receive. So amazing stuff. And of your 84, I just want to give you a high level of expenses that you're going to be needing to do there. So high level expenses is obviously the bond, because you've taken this with the bond. So you obviously need the bond to be paid. So you will pay the bond depending on how much, right? How much interest the bank is going to charge you. For some people, it's going to be 13. For some people, it might even be prime minus 1, right? So I'm just going to take it at the worst case scenario and say a 13%. And with that will be a 23,000 that you are now paying towards your bond expense. So let's take now 83 minus the 23. So over and above the bond repayment that I spoke about, you are going to have other expenses like insurance, rates and taxes, security, Wi-Fi, municipality, cleaning, and the works. At the end of the day, my good friends, you will have a positive cash flow, or should I say you'll have a profit of shy 15,000. So you will have a profit of exact figure will be 13,300. That's the amount of money that is going to be in your pocket, but dependent on how your bond is, right? So if it's a little bit higher, the profit will be a little bit lower. If it's a little bit lower, the profit will be a little bit higher. Does that make sense, my good friends? I'm hoping that this makes sense to you. I really am. And if you're interested in a deal like this one, then reach out to me. The ways to reach out to us, we have given that to you there in the link. If you are buying the same property with cash, right? And my good friends, by the way, this is a 20% return on your money if you had to leave some of your money in this deal, which is this 800 that we're speaking about, that's a whooping 20% money return on investment that's coming through to you. Now that's amazing. That's a good money. That's good returns. I don't know, the banks at the moment, what are they giving? 11, 12%? You're lucky if you're to get that kind of returns, right? But check at your own bank and see what kind of returns are you getting at the money that's sitting at the bank, and for you to do a project like this one. And by the way, in 20 years time, if you had to take this one a normal bond, in 20 years time, this particular property will be yours, and it will be sitting at a value, a good value of, I think, probably like shy 5 million. And the students would have paid up for your debt entirely, and you're going to be having more money coming through to you. So that's amazing. I think, why wouldn't you do that? So anyways, let's talk about the same deal. If you were going to buy this with cash, right? The only difference is that you have no bond. That's the only difference. So all your other costs will stay the same, with an exception of your transfer, because it will be less. So you will need a whooping 2.6 million on this particular deal to buy. Your acquisition cost will be 2.6 million. And your return on the investments will be sitting at 16%. And that's 36,000 that's going to be hitting your backside on a monthly basis. Why wouldn't you want to do this, my good friends? I don't know. So that was deal number 1, right? And I want to speak to you again on deal number 2. And deal number 2, my good friends, it is sitting at an asking price of 1.7 million. So it's a little bit lower than that one. But this one you can also do 18 students. So if I were you, I would say, TJ, the 1.7 one speaks to me because I'm doing some savings, the 200 savings on the other one, right? Does it make sense? That's how I start to see or scout different deals. I look at this deal, I'm like, this is 1.7. That one was 2 million. So which one should I buy between the two? Okay, 18 students, the same return, the same cash flow that I'm going to be getting. This one for 1.7, it makes sense, right? Financially. However, but the 1.7 one could be gone. Then the next best price, the next best deal is the 2 million one. Does it make sense? Okay, good stuff. Now, the 1.7 one, which is deal number 2, the difference is just that it's 1.7, right? Everything else will probably stay the same in terms of your rental income, and some of your new different things would be things like transfer fees, because 1.7 is now slightly, not a lot. I'll still just budget the same. And your renovation amount is all still the same, or should I say your buying cost, it's all still the same at around about 800. So again, you are on the same return of 20% return, and you're banking this one here, you're now banking slightly above 15,000. So that's deal number 2. So if I were you, I would jump on this deal. It's a no-brainer. 1.7 million. Does it make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Right. Now let's go on to deal number 3. Right. Today I told you we've got plenty of deals. But remember, my good friends, these deals, they are available. If you're subscribed to us and we verify you, I can be able to pass on these deals here. Some of them don't even come here. Like I'm always saying this to you. But nonetheless, this is a 2.5 million rand deal, right? If you're to buy it as a bond, 2.5 million, that's amazing. How many students, TJ? 25 students. So on this one here, it's got a little bit of more in terms of you converting the property into a student accommodation. You will need 1 million rand on this deal. But the good thing is that you've got an income of, my good friends, of 115,000, right? So there's a difference now. You can see there's more students, and on this one you are banking 115,000. On this particular deal, with your 20 students, you are literally banking 24,000 rand going home, right? That's your profit. If we were to subtract all the other fees, that's your profit. Again, when do you need this 1 million? You don't need all of it in one go. You need it in different stages. So I would say at month number 1, you sign your offer to purchase. In exactly maybe 30 days, or month number 2, you will need your registration. And then thereafter, what is needed is your renovation cost. So you can hustle to see where you can unlock some of these monies. Can you unlock some of the money in another property that you own? Can you unlock some money with a brother that used to owe you some money somewhere else? But be creative so that you can find this money, my good friends. These are very good deals. These are 3 amazing student accommodation that I've just given you today. So I do think that many of you who are always saying, TJ, I lost out on that deal. Today, I am sure you'll be able to catch on one of these deals. So my good friends, until we meet again in the next video, don't forget that on Mondays is a learning video. Tuesdays is just a deal that we talk about. They are all available. And then on Saturday, it's just behind the scene of our deals. So until we see each other again on the next video, right here at the TJ Tribe. Boom, boom.